Joining me now is Matteo Alessi. For almost a century, Alessi has been at the forefront of creative design. How do you keep things fresh when you're a company that has been going for so long?
Yes, well, I think the approach has always been the same and has remained the same. What we do is we only work with external designers. So none of the designers that develop products with us has ever been employed by Alessi. This is because we think designers are thinkers, and therefore the more they are exposed to different environments and experiences, the better their output will be the next time they work with us. And therefore, working with all these different creative minds from all walks of life and different generations of them has helped us remaining fresh and innovative.
Now, does this mean that your own home is full of beautiful things?
Well, yes, of course, I get a discount on them. But yeah, I mean, I grew up with this kind of environment around me. So it is normal for me to try and look for nice things to fill my home. And it's not just a matter, I think design is not just about the aesthetics, it's also about pleasing all the senses. And the design thinking is not just about the looks of an item, but also all the interaction between the user and the object itself while performing the function. And that's something that I look for in basically everything that I use in my home, even if it's of a typology of product that we don't make ourselves.
Do you have a customer in mind? Do you have a particular quintessential person who shops at Alessi?
Well, not really. We don't have what they would call a persona, so like define woman 45 to 55 or something like that. It's more, we aim for people that understand what design means, that understand how you can make a difference through design, and that are willing to basically open themselves up to the feeling that design should create. We strongly believe in the fact that design is about creating emotions and feelings in the users. So we're basically looking for people that are willing to feel those feelings and act upon them.
So I was going to say, it feels like most people have something by Alessi in their household. Do you have a particular design item that is always a favourite for you?
I actually have three design items from us that are my favorite. I never managed to pick one of these three. One is a coffee maker, the first coffee maker we ever made, that was designed by Richard Sapper in 1978. And that is one of my favorite items because it's the first Alessi product that I ever bought. I was, I think, 9 or 10 years old, I don't even remember. And I bought it as a gift for my father for his birthday. The whole idea behind it was that it would have been a double gift because on one side it would have had a coffee maker to make coffee, and on the other side it would have increased the turnover of the company. Of course, since I didn't have any money of my own, he had to pay for it, and the whole idea crumbled. But it remained one of the most, one of my favorite items. It's also, I think, a very good example of the way we work at Alessi because it's a very complex item to make, but a strong element of the way we make product is that our job is that of taking the creative idea and turn it into a product without changing it or changing it as less as possible. And that product is a very good example because it takes more than 120 different steps of production to get to the final product. And we could have cut some corners here and there, changed the shape a bit to make it easier to manufacture and therefore less expensive, but that wouldn't have been the same item. It would have been the small piece of art which we think it is.
So it's interesting that you had an eye for design when you were a child. Was it inevitable, do you think, that you would end up as part of Alessi, as part of the company?
Inevitable, maybe. I wouldn't say expected, but I wasn't forced into entering the family business. I think it was for two main reasons. On one side, because there's 15 of us in my generation, in the fourth generation of the family, and the company cannot accommodate everybody. So the previous generation, my father and my uncle's generation, they didn't force us to join because they couldn't have accommodated anybody anyway. On the other side, we strongly believe in the fact that for however professional you are, if you do something because you want to and not because you're expected to, you're going to do it better. So they always gave us the maximum freedom to decide whether we wanted or not to join the family business.
Now you're joining us for XpoNorth. You're going to be on one of the panels. What are you going to be talking about today?
The panel today is going to be about the power of provenance in the design world, and that's something that where I try to bring our experience and our point of view on it, because I strongly believe in the fact that it is one of the key elements of design. Is really both in terms of the manufacturing, but also in terms of the creative process. And so we try to bring my point of view today and contribute to the panel.
Well, Matteo, it's been lovely meeting you, and thank you very much for keeping my lemons well squeezed.
Thank you very much.